Service dogs can be life-saving for veterans and people with disabilities, and a nonprofit out of Findlay promises to give families that help. But instead, they're accused of leaving families out thousands of dollars and without trained service animals. Investigative reporter Kaylee Marentet has been looking into Pawsible Angels and its former owner. Kaylee, what did you find?
Melissa, people try to get a service dog or get their dog trained through this nonprofit, Pawsible Angels, except 3 people we spoke with either got ghosted, ended up without a dog, or both, all wondering where their money went.
3 families, 3 different stories.
Settle. I know. I know, baby.
Ronnie Western's granddaughter has a rare condition that causes seizures. Kayla Obenauer's daughter has sensory and nervous system complications. Amber Haney is blind in one eye and has no peripheral vision. However, there's one similarity.
Sit.
They're all in need of a service animal.
Now we have all these medical bills. We need a service dog. Well, a friend of mine said Pawsible Angels in Findlay would be more.
Pawsible Angels, a 501c3 that offers obedience and service dog training, services that Amber Haney needs.
They picked out a dog and I actually had to buy the dog from the shelter.
A dog she knew nothing about.
He would be very hyper. He would constantly whine in class because he didn't want to sit still. He did try to snap at people. Stay.
Amber says she had to train the dog.
I have no peripheral vision. How am I supposed to correct the dog if I can't see the dog?
Oh, dang it.
Trying to train him wasn't working out. So when they told the organization,
We want the dog back. You can't keep the dog. The dog's not, able to be a pet or a service dog. And we need him back, and you don't get any of your money back.
Amber did sign a contract agreeing to no refunds. But Amber's argument is, when a dog isn't able to be trained, is it fair to assign it as a service dog? We looked at the contract and found nothing about taking the dog back if it can't be trained. Stephen Haney is Amber's uncle and a disabled veteran. Got a service dog through a different nonprofit.
My dog was basically already trained when I first got him.
We spoke with another nonprofit service dog program and were told they train the dog before they're turned over to someone.
Left her with high and dry with no money, no dog, no way to do anything else.
How about
A similar encounter for Ronnie Western. She reached out initially to Pawsible Angels to get training for Sully, a service dog in need of more training to hold 11-year-old Story down when she seized.
She just quit showing up out of the blue. She said Sully wasn't a good fit anymore. He wasn't a good service dog, and told Tori that she was going to find her another dog.
Ronnie says the new dog only weighed around 20 pounds.
That's not going to work. Story will hurt that dog. And then she just disappeared. And she said, there are no refunds. And I was like, what? Like, you got a lot of money, thousands of dollars.
$4,700 to be exact. Thousands from multiple families with questions around where the money went.
I have no idea where the finances went.
This previous board member wanted to stay anonymous out of fear of retaliation. This member and 2 others we've spoke with say they never got details on where the funds were going.
This is Michelle.
Hi, Michelle. This is Kaylee. I'm calling from WTOL. How are you?
Now, what makes Pawsible difference?
Michelle Frank is listed on the Better Business Bureau website as the owner and main contact on the organization's website.
Yes, absolutely.
She agreed to sit down and interview with us. Then later that day, I received this text saying her attorney advised her not to speak with us. She sent a statement saying in part, I am aware of the recent allegations of mismanagement of donor funds, among other things. I want to assure you that I have never been involved in any wrongdoing. I have always acted in the best interests of the organization and its donors, and never without board consent, end quote. She also told me she was only ever a volunteer, even though in her resignation letter from the organization, she referred to herself as the executive director and is the principal officer, according to the IRS. She was also getting paid. Here's a copy of a check from Pawsible Angels to Michelle. As a 501c3, it's dependent on donations. $1,000 that Kayla Obenauer paid for training that the nonprofit took as a contribution. That's what the nonprofit wrote in a response to her negative online review.
There were times when people wrote checks for higher amounts, and Michelle took them as donations, but they weren't meant to be.
Kayla says she paid Michelle in cash in March and alleges she wouldn't provide a written agreement for the services.
She said, well, the way I do things, I don't need a contract. I found a board member, and they were not even aware that she was still seeing any customers or any clients for training because they had not formally met since 2020.
Kayla's March 30th post online about her experience led others to come forward with theirs. The board received that resignation letter on March 28th from Michelle, stating she was taking the clientele with her. Now she's got a new business, Ohio Comfort Creatures, a dog training business.
The $4,700 you heard, that was only for Ronnie Western's family. All three families combined totals more than $10,000. Records show the Ohio Attorney General's office recently stated that the nonprofit is out of compliance, not submitting its annual reports for 2020 and 2021, which are required by state law. We also want to make it clear the nonprofit has not been accused of criminal activity, and Pawsible Angels' doors are officially closed. If you are in need of a service dog or training, we'll have some sources in this story on our website. In studio, Kaylee Maritet, WTOL 11.